Have you ever been on a run and suddenly you have that gotta go kind of feeling? You're not alone. It's actually not that unusual, but there are some things that we can do to prevent it. So let's chat. Amanda Brooks here, longtime running coach and author. One of you hopped into my messages and asked if I could do a video specifically talking about runner's trots, aka runner's diarrhea. And of course, this is something that we don't really like to talk about because it's sort of embarrassing, and yet it happens to so many runners. There's a very good reason for that. While you're running, obviously things are moving around, your whole digestive system is being jostled, but also the blood flow to your digestive system is being reduced. And that is because we are trying to get blood out into the muscles. So let's talk a little bit more about what you can actually do to prevent this, to keep you feeling good. If you appreciate this and like these, make sure you're hitting like, and as always, drop your comments and questions below. Let's go. 1, we're going to look at limiting and changing up some of what we're eating before we run. So very specifically, high fiber foods. I don't want you to eliminate vegetables, but I want you to start thinking about when you're eating them around your runs. So this may be more impactful when you're having issues in the evening, but for morning runners, okay, your oatmeal might need to be an after run kind of thing. So high fiber and high fat are 2 common culprits. So while we are often recommending that slice of bread, some toast with nut butter on it, maybe for you, that nut butter is a problem. This is where you need to pay attention. You need to write down when it happens, when it's worse. Maybe a morning runner who has a heavy dinner with a lot of broccoli has more issues. So start paying attention to that. Okay, another one that is super common is if you are eating foods that have a lot of fake sugars or sugar alcohols. Those can cause digestive issues even when you're not running. So start to pay attention to those things, maybe the 0-calorie sweeteners, any of those kinds of foods that are in your world, and see if they might be contributing to the issue. Number 3, gels. So when we are doing long runs, we need to be taking in energy. And the problem when you're having stomach issues is that then you stop taking it in, and this is going to make things worse. You're gonna hit the wall, you're gonna feel awful. So what can we do in terms of gels? There are a number of options, things that will work for you. So you could try doing something like liquid nutrition. This is one that worked really well for me leading up to the Chicago Marathon. So that's something like Tailwind, Gnarly, UCAN. So you are drinking your calories, which has the added benefit of keeping you hydrated. So hydration is also going to help everything in your stomach. So you are then sipping something that has your carbs in it. That's a great option. Also, I love to try breaking up things like energy bars, or spring gels is one that works for a lot of people. Honey Stinger waffles, pretzels, dried pineapple is another one. I love dried pineapple because it is also a digestive enzyme, so can help with things in the stomach. So be willing to sort of experiment a little outside of the box instead of just using maybe what you would consider traditional fuel. 4, we touched on this a second ago, but staying hydrated. And this actually refers to sipping your drinks consistently. So no guzzling, especially these high carb sports drinks, anything like that, that can lead to digestive issues. So sip consistently. 5, a probiotic. I have talked about this in a couple of videos now. Previnex is the one that I always recommend because it has enough strains and it has enough bacteria in it to actually do something for your gut. So I have a discount code if anybody wants it, just let me know below. All right, number 6, as I just mentioned, also is keeping a food journal. Take the time to write things down, see what's working, what's not working, which could lead to number 7, Caffeine. Oh yeah, this is a hard one, but for some of you, that morning cup of coffee or the fact that you are using pre-workout is what's causing your digestive issues. So you may need to try cutting it out for a week and seeing if things get better. Ideally, cut it out for a little longer. You'll be amazed at what a boost that caffeine provides later once it's not constantly in your system. I know, a bunch of you just said, nope, never mind, I'll deal with the stomach issues. Okay, number 8, same thing goes for dairy. So for a lot of people, dairy is an issue anyways. It is just a food intolerance, so not an allergy that causes skin issues, but an intolerance, meaning it just creates a little low-level inflammation in the gut. While you are running, I always think of it this way. Dairy curdles when it's left out to get hot, right? So now in your body, you are getting all hot and it's jostling around, and to me, it's just curdling in there. Yeah, it just doesn't sound good. So another one, test it out, see how it works for you. Finally, we're starting to think about race day nerves or just nerves around your workout. This can exacerbate the problem. So you need to start finding ways, especially pre-race, to calm down. So big deep breaths are a really important way to do that. Things that are just going to help your system say it's okay, I'm safe, I can do this. But when you're all amped up, that is something that can trigger your gut to want to flush everything out. Okay, so then we are getting into some very last minute ideas. All right, so one is drinking Calm, which is a magnesium drink, or taking a magnesium supplement at night so that hopefully first thing in the morning, it flushes your system out. Magnesium is good for runners anyways, great for your muscles, but this is one way to maybe ensure that you go before you head out the door. Next up after that, Imodium. So I have talked with a number of sports nutritionists about this because I don't love the idea, but we all have agreed if it is race day and you are nervous because you consistently have issues, it is okay to take Imodium. So Imodium should basically stop things from happening for a while. We don't want this to become your everyday go-to because then you aren't solving the issue. You're just masking it and potentially creating some other issues. So it does work, it can be used, but only occasionally. All right, I hope this gave you some ideas. If you have other questions, as always, let me know and enjoy those runs.